Hello, YouTube, and welcome to the conclusion of the Irwindale triple header weekend and the halfway point to the Coke Vanilla Cup Series chase, as we're here at chase race number 5 and race number. I'm off somewhere in my numbers. In
31.
My head. It is 31?
Yep.
Okay, wow. Joining me, as you can tell, is Stephen Paul III. We haven't gotten to a point where we have to choose whether or not I actually have co-commentators or side commentator. Dylan Young is on the front row alongside Johnny Gardner. It's hometown hero Charles Sanford alongside Allie Nelson. Stephen Paul III will start alongside another California native and hometown driver here, Jonathan Zorline. Preston Plord and Sky Commons will make up row number 4, with Kyle Matthews and Amy Shelley in row 5. Here's the rest of the starting grid as I hand it over to Stephen.
So in the truck race, we didn't see a lot of passing. Yesterday in the Hooters, we saw a bunch of passing. We saw Busacco start from the back and go up to 10th. So I don't know what we're going to see today's race. I think everybody in the stands wants to see Johnny win. Allie Nelson trying to get her first win, snap that losing streak of the longest amount of starts before a win alongside with Tom Shelley, who is not in this race.
I'm being honest, I don't think she's quite yet to Tom Gerard levels.
No, but as we get to our final rows, Randolph and Qualls and some guys in the back of the chase grid like Dylan Young, Steve Pollard, and Tim Randolph starting left. Sam Young are trying to get up there. Everybody's 150. Still could take the points lead at this point, what I'm trying to say. So we'll see what happens tonight.
Yes, in fact, actually, 1st to 12th is separated by 106 points. So it's the closest that they've been since the first chase race, actually, as here comes the command to start the engines.
Drivers, start your engines!
So we'll carry 8 onboard should we need them for this race. Bill Bratt Jr. will be carrying the Toyota onboard. He is the points leader. Oh no. Oh no.
Restart.
And Sky Commons has got issues as well.
Does that classify as a restart?
Oh my god. You cannot be serious.
Henry, shut Charles's Wi-Fi off.
Oh my.
Can we do a redo?
Oh my god. I mean,
this is.
So we're green here at Irwindale. Dylan Young with a great start there now from the outside pole.
Shenanigans, Charles Sanford going for the lead. This is some shenanigans.
Chris Livier, Charles Jackson, Mark George, Dylan Young, Henry Sanford, Vince Almerigo, and Tristan Wilhoit are our onboards as Charles Sanford leads lap 1 in the 05.
Oh, that's conspiracy. That's a conspiracy. That's.
So I mentioned So as Sanford continues to lead, Bill Bragg Jr. leads by 10 points over Chris Louvier. 16 back to Jackson, 25 back to Mark George, and Dylan Young was 55 back in 5th. Henry Sanford, Vince Almerigo, Chris Washer, Tristan Wilhoit, Sam Young was the rest of the top 10 with Tim Randolph and Steve Pollard rounding out the chase grid. And we're under caution already on lap number
Braddock
4, and it might have been Bill Bragg Jr.
And remember, we saw Braddock crash out at South Boston in the first few laps, so short tracks has not been kind to him this year.
And there is damage to the left side of that 22 Toyota, and he'll go to the pit lane to fix it. So with that...
Oh, more trouble.
Yeah, and that's in stack up.
Everybody just taking a nice, lovely view of Irwindale.
Yeah, apparently. As
and
pace
Stanford, where's he? Oh, he's way ahead of the field.
And now they finally got sorted out, I guess. I don't know. I'm not quite sure what's going on at that point. So with that, let's take a look back at what happened, though, as Bill Bragg Jr. decided not to pit, actually. And we're back. Here's what happened coming off turn number 2. Bill Bragg Jr. had some sort of issue because he was going to try and pit, and he cuts down right in front of Isaac Flickinger and nowhere for the 78 to go.
Luckily, that was only a 2-car wreck because he was running 13th, and problems for Bragg. He's the points leader, too. I just realized that. Holy crap.
I just mentioned that he was the points leader. How did you forget it that quickly?
It's 1:35 at night.
With that, though, let's go ahead and take you back to the restart. Not much really to do there with onboards, so. And we're back. We've just gone green, so you haven't missed anything. Charles Sanford, Dylan Young, Amy Shelley, Stephen Paul III, Tristan Wilhoit, Jonathan Zorline, Allie Nelson, Gene Sanford, Preston Plord, and Chris Wilson are the top 10. no retirees from the incident, but Johnny Gardner did not take the green flag, so whatever happened there, unfortunate for the 016.
Yep, as we see for the Paul bound Gene Sanford quietly in the top roll, 3 wide.
Yeah, with the 20 and the 36 there. 36 going to duck out of that battle.
Yeah, 36 is dropping back right there as Gene trying to snap another losing streak too.
As Will Hoyt right now battling with Stephen Paul III. That is for 4th.
As Zorline, the owner points leader, running up here.
Yeah, so not good news for the owner's points battle right now, I guess, really. So.
Nope, as Will Hoyt hanging up tough, actually doing something at a non-crown jewel race, so good for Will Hoyt.
Yep, looks like he should be able to clear the 23 here shortly. So it looks like both lines actually kind of working for the Cup race, which was not something we saw in either of the other races.
So we've seen Charles almost win at Lime Rock, 20th at Kansas, and now leading. I don't know what happened, but the 05 team found something.
Yeah, they found something, definitely.
And also Charles won at Zen Joltas like a month ago, so Charles has got a lot of momentum on his side. S3 might not be closing down.
Well, that was in the Hooter Series where he doesn't run for his own team, so. Yeah. So Allie Nelson now will pass the 47. This is a battle for 8th.
Yep,
as Preston also trying to take 6th away from Zorline.
So the top chasers right now are Dylan, the 7, that's the owner's championship, and that's only 2 in the top 10 I can see. Will Hoyt?
Yeah.
it's shit.
Preston now will clear Zorline force. What's really bad is I had him on camera while you're saying all of that.
Yeah, I realized that, and I really need to go
Shelley better. Going to the outside of Dylan Young, trying to grab 2nd away from that 24 car.
Amy won at Richmond a few weeks ago, so has some last short track race I might add, so maybe they brought the same car.
That could be true. I think it is, yeah. Shelly gonna actually clear through 3 and 4, I think. She's gonna set her sights now in that Stater Brothers Chevy of Charles Sanford now for the race lead.
Well, Vince Amarego broke Charles's heart. Brad Johnson broke Charles's heart. Now can Amy Shelley do the same thing?
Nice subtle jab on that one.
Yeah, just had to slide that one in there. Stephen Paul III clears Plord for 5th.
Well, actually, it's Plord trying to take 5th away from the 23 car.
Cole Deaver enters 10th, but he's not a chain. So look farther back. We have to. Where is the 01 running? That's the real question. William Brock up there having a good one. Pollard.
Last scored in 18th. That time by still in 18th, battling with Max Anderson.
I believe Louvier started in the back of the field, if I'm not mistaken. So that's a good rebound for him.
Started somewhere towards the back. I think in around the 30th position.
Yes, they're moving up. Steve Paul, one of the highest chases. And Charles Jackson not having a good run either.
One of the highest. He's like the 4th highest, if that.
Yeah. As Amy Shelley is catching the back of the 12. Not Amanda, the back of 12, the back of the 05.
Somewhat. I mean, they're running very identical lap times right now. Bill Brack Jr. just coming off turn number 4.
Tough break for Braddock. He was the points leader, but remember, he had that last short track race where he crashed. The second to last short track race he crashed. So Pollard.
And Preston now around the outside of the 23.
Yep. Allie Nelson having a good
preferred line for Preston should be able to get him a top 5 spot here at Irwindale.
1/4 of the way home right now, lap 25.
Or, well, we're working lap 25. We'll be quarter of the way home next time by.
Correct. As 100
Kyle
laps.
Matthews now has gone back inside the top 10. Now we're passing Cole Deaver.
Yep, and William Brock in that ugly-ass paint scheme coming up.
Trying to pass Levi McIntyre for the 12th position.
It's a rare good run for Brendan Patterson in his post-retirement because it's been a struggle since the announcement.
Patterson right now running in the identical spot to his car number, 17th.
Yep, Patterson's ran every race in season 1, if I'm not mistaken.
Other than ones where he DNQ'd.
Yeah, he's ran the, I think I read, he ran the Roush, no, he ran the Ford, the 43 first season, right?
Yes, he ran 43 first season and has been in 17 since. He's attempted every Coconut Cup Series race up to now.
There's a chaser behind him, Chris Washer in the 5.
Yep. Right now running in 19th. Alexander Rowe right now in his oh-so-magical 21st spot.
Henry Sanford, he's back there. He's another chaser.
Right now, last scored in 24th, battling with Sam Young right there in 25th.
Patterson tried to pass Steve Pollard up there. Yeah, Anderson up in the wall a little bit back there.
Well, he's close to it.
Steve Pollard getting held up by Chris Wilson right there as we come up to the front.
As Christopher Pierce trying to look to the outside of Levi McIntyre, as Amy Shelley has gone to the back bumper of Charles Sanford apparently.
Yep, as Steve's going to try to complete that pass to get 5 very valuable points right there.
That's actually a battle for 3 points right there.
Correct my math, but okay.
Because remember, we're on the 2003 points number system, so it's 3 points per position until you get to the 11th.
Yeah, the 33's been struggling with the COT car, so Levi loose right there.
As that allows Christopher Pierce to clear him for the 13th position.
Gene Sanford there.
Zorline has gone 6th away from Pollard now.
Yeah, that's not what the owners guys want to see. Is Amy's there.
The 12 has caught the 05.
We could make some more settled jabs, but we'll leave it at that. But Dylan Young is still in the top 3.
And Will Hoyt right there in 4th. So good runs for these two as they both try and get up towards the front of the chase grid.
Yeah, as
right now I think Dylan Young might be the points leader as they run. I don't know. He's ahead of the 16 already, so that doesn't matter.
Yeah, a lot of points.
Issues, and Louvier's running towards the back.
Amy Shelley's going to turn the 12 in this race to get any more closer.
Amy Shelley's going to turn herself? Ooh, good job.
He's going to turn Charles Sanford.
As Preston now to the outside of Will Hoyt for 4th.
Now we see
is on the move right now.
Didn't Preston beat Gene at Ontario, or was it Almarego? Yeah, so Preston tried to do the same thing to Charles.
Ironically enough, both at California tracks.
Yeah, Dylan Young up the groove.
Looks like he's just trying to get that preferred line going, maybe try and get second back from Amy Shelley.
Cole Deaver moves up to the top 10 right there.
Yeah, that 10th spot has been kind of fluctuating almost every lap.
Yep, as top 4 are very close together. We did see this yesterday.
And Will Hoyt trying to use that outside line now for his own sake as Zorline looked to the inside. Here comes Dylan Young for 2nd.
Now the question is, will we get lap cars in the big C? Raddick is a little off the pace.
Last lap was a 16.4. Leader's last lap was a 16.5. So, I mean, it's possible, but it looks like he's actually holding firm right now as Dylan Young now to 2nd.
And Dylan's got a strong car right there. Sorry to cut you off, Charles.
No, you're fine. Meanwhile, Sanford has currently led every single lap here at Irwindale.
And let's see if he finds a way to hold on, or, pit stops. If you get 2 or 4 tires, we have a long race here.
If we have pit stops, we're kind of hoping that we don't.
Yeah, and then we're going to see somebody goofy win the race for no apparent reason.
Yes, seriously.
Steven Paul 30.
Yep.
Bill Davis right there, 2 cars.
As right now, the 3rd one not running so well because of the incident, so might as well have the other 2 running up front.
Yep, Tristan tried to make a pass on Poole right there after
trying to pass him back for 4th.
Top 10 has not fluctuated in the last 3 laps, so...
Go figure. I mentioned it's been fluctuating almost every lap, and so it has to just spike.
Well, it's gonna happen. They're Gene and Deaver battling here.
Well, trying as Deaver unable to make a move on that 47 right now.
Not a lot of passings throughout the field right now. A lot of single file.
Well, to be fair, that's up at the front too, so I see some battles probably towards further back as Will Hoyt's going to grab 4th back now, and in fact, we'll show the back of the field, which is why not.
Raddick is actually catching the back of the field.
Mohamed Zainab, and that's because they're just so caught up battling with each other that's slowing them down. Mohamed Zainabdullah making some moves though up towards the field, through the field. Right now his last scored 34th, just past Will Lewis, I believe, for 33rd.
I see Mark George back there, Tim Randolph. That's going to hurt them in the points big time.
Well, remember, Randolph started in 41st, so just hasn't been able to make moves up towards the front. Mark George also is back here. Mary Shelley, who had to go to the rear of the field, is currently scored in 33rd. James Qualls, who's qualified 42nd and had to start 42nd, now up into the top 30.
The Jess is back here after she has 3 straight top 10s. Doesn't look like it's going to happen today.
And she was 13th in the owner's points coming in with this car, so.
Yep, it's 14, a 00 up there. Also, Chasers running not great, but decent runs.
Right, and they have Vince Almarego just in front of them in 23rd, as Sam Young's going to grab 24th away from that 00. Seth Cole might try and do the same.
Charles Jackson up there battling Alexander Rowe in his magical position.
As Rowe trying to grab 21st back from the 9 of Charles Jackson.
66 falling through the field of Wilson. He started up there. Louvier making moves up there.
And on the bottom, no less, right now in 18th.
66 is struggling for grip, I can tell. Like I mentioned, the losing spots we've been focusing on there. Patterson just can't get by Steve Pollard.
Yeah, you know you're bad when you can't make the move on the outside. Is Louvier, great job to make that move on the inside line stick.
Yeah, 66 is going to need some 4 tires right there.
Same for the 9, making moves on the inside as well. Was inside of Alexander Rowe, but still made the pass work. Anderson, though, still able to get that outside line going.
We thought Jackson's hopes were done, but a dominating performance at Kansas has kept him in the hunt.
Nearly turned the 66, though.
And he's trying to go for it, trying to gain positions. It's Anderson way up the track.
Not much he could have done. 3 wide there for that spot as Jackson had to get out of it.
I think Patterson's finally going to get by Steve Pollard, maybe.
He's got the preferred line, that's for sure. Battle for 15th there with those 2.
Yep, and he's been working on him for many, many laps. He's going to get him finally.
Yep, and Pollard, if he's smart, would fall back in line here before Washer can get him. Looks like he'll be able to do so. And Wilson now stuck on that bottom line. So Anderson going to clear him.
Yep, and everybody's single filing up there.
These two are still going at it too. Levi and Pierce for 13th.
Levi and his new paint scheme too.
His newer scheme. He's run it once already now, so this is the second time that they've run it.
Steve Pollard is. Oh, that was too well got. Brock is pulling away from this battle right here.
Yes, he is right now trying to set his sights on the 48 of Kyle Matthews for 11th. And Will Hoyt trying to battle for 5th. Meanwhile, Dylan Young peaking for the race lead, not able to make that inside line work.
Nope, Charles got too good of a strong car right there.
As we are over halfway home now in this one, Sanford has led every lap so far.
And Sanford would be in the owner's chase next year, so with this, not the owner's chase. Wow, the all-star race. Excuse my French.
That was a pretty bad screw up there.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so that would be something if he can hang on. Dylan Young, obviously anyone who wins would be in the all-star race. It's just a matter of whether or not they've already won already. So, for instance, like the 12 already has a win to get him in. Dylan Young side by side for the race lead now.
And oh my God, oh wow, Charles hanging tough there, man.
He's got that preferred line for him at least, and he'll make it stick for him. So Stanford hangs on to it.
You know what I see up there? I see some lap cars. So
next one would be the 31, as Bill Brack Jr. is now making moves through the field. Currently, he's 2 laps down actually. Chris Washer's a lap down in the 5.
Must have pitted.
I'm kind of curious on that one because we saw him. Oh, Washer's on pit lane now.
Yeah, he's making a pit stop.
That's got to be unscheduled.
Might be trying to perform the undercut, maybe. Who knows?
That's a very risky play then if you're trying that. As Steve Pollard and Brandon Patterson going at it once again now for 15th. And
Steve really needs to gain. He has had a horrible start to his chase, so trying to get better. But if that strategy works, if he's going to perform the undercut, I don't know how the tires do. Is the 41 is slow as crap.
Well, I mean, it obviously depends right now. I mean, these guys are battling, so it's hard to kind of gauge whether or not these lap times are competitive. 16.8 there for Kyle Matthews, though, not battling anyone.
As they're a few tenths off, they're a lot off their fastest lap. They're about.
And we've had a lead change. Dylan Young now has the top spot.
Now, if I was Sanford, I'd pit to do the undercut, but I don't know if they're going to do it.
I mean, you're not pitting, though, if you don't have to pit for fuel, because the thing is, you lose 2 laps here. You're not gaining that back just on tires.
Yeah, tires don't mean that much, but that's going to hurt Chris Washer in the championship for big time if that doesn't play out.
And so Dylan Young with 5 bonus points now for leading a lap, and that definitely would put him, I think, into the points lead for right now.
Yep. Nobody back here pitting. So
I mean, Braddock ran a 16.8 while battling some guys, so
Dylan Young,
16.8 there.
Dylan came into the season with a 90 race, won at Texas, now trying to make it fastest. Washer's passing cars with those new tires.
Well, Washer's battling with cars. I mean, he's in traffic right now, and he's running slower lap times than our leaders, too, so.
Now, if they do start pitting, you gotta have to watch out. The exiting out of pit road with the AI are pretty crappy.
You definitely want to coordinate with your guys around you on pit lane. That's
Gene
for
is
sure.
battling. Gene is battling with the Cold Diva right there for 9th.
Yep. And meanwhile, Stephen Paul III battling for 6th here with Jonathan Zorline. He'll grab that spot away, I believe, through turns 3 and 4.
Yeah, so I don't know. We could. It's gonna be a little risky. The tires are pretty falling off. As you see, the last lap time 691. The best lap was 282. So.
Some drivers, it's fallen off a little bit more than others. I mean, it just depends really on what type of a situation that they're in.
As I do see, well, about 20 laps, they're going to catch the 31. So
I mean, they're 31's running equal lap times, basically. I mean, he was a 10th quicker than the 24 that last time by.
Yep, as Amy Shelley trying to work Charles down there.
Yep. Let's see what we got in the top. Looks like probably right here. Chris Louvier. Where did he come from on that one? Actually going to grab 15th away from Brian Patterson.
Yeah, Steve Paul is in the clutches of Charles Jackson right there. That's not what he wanted to see.
Yeah, definitely not. As Brian Patterson's going to pit from 16th position.
Wow.
He's the only one I see on pit lane.
So pit stops are going to happen, but
this is interesting because I don't know if that's scheduled or not either. Jack James in the wall in the 4. Technical difficulties and pit stops are happening on lap 70. So technical difficulties. And Cole Deaver, oh my, that's trouble.
Okay, this is only the second time this season this happened, so.
And big time trouble on pit lane. As that's going to be affecting a lot as Charles Sanford now comes into pit lane and he's right in front of the 7.
What did I miss?
You missed pit stops. And a lot of craziness on these pit stops as I saw Cole Deaver's car parked.
Poor Cole Deaver. 42's got damage.
I don't
Here's the
even know
problem.
where the leader is. I don't know where Dylan Young is. He's on pit lane right now. I'm
Okay.
willing to bet like everyone's
Allie Nelson.
The teammates, the 36 and the 23.
Okay, we got shenanigans.
Zorline finally gets out of his pit box. Now Sanford's released. So I think Zorline actually beats Sanford off because I think they're pitting on the same lap. Somehow we're going to make it through a pit stop cycle with no caution.
I don't know how. Let's see if the
I don't even know who the race leader's going to be. Dylan Young just got released off pit lane. There he is.
This was going to be the problem.
Dylan Young's in the grass. Oh, trouble. Allie Nelson has been wrecked.
Allie Nelson's dead. Not wrecked,
and
dead.
The caution is out.
Gene
Sanford is leading.
This is rigged.
Gene Sanford is scored as the race leader with 19 cars on the lead lap.
You can't script that any better. Charles Jackson said two laps of Randolph.
Isaac Flickinger and Sky Commons are out. Brian Patterson is in 2nd. Cole Deaver is a lap down, and Cole Deaver's 2 laps down.
Chris Washer 4th. That pitch strategy worked perfectly. Steve Paul at 6th.
Max Anderson is a lap down with damage. Let's take a look back at what happened to bring out the yellow, and then let's try and sort out some of the craziness that has gone on here at Irwindale. And we're back. Here's what happened to Allie Nelson. So they had to take off the hood. She's trying to merge out. James Qualls is there, and Nelson goes for a wild ride.
And that's a huge hit right there. 36 is dead. I don't know how much to the 83 of Commons.
So
Dylan Young.
Dylan Young through the grass. We're going to have to take... Levi McIntyre was through the grass as well. We're going to have to take several looks at several different incidents. Max Anderson got turned under the caution.
But the thing is...
There's Mark George in the grass.
Everybody's in the grass. But this is the problem with Anderson. Look who hit him. It's a chaser.
Yeah. Or watch who hits them. I think it's actually Braddock coming out of the pit. Was it Braddock coming out of the pits, maybe?
Right here, well, no, somebody. Oh,
yeah, it was. I think Braddock was coming out of the pits.
Braddock just said, "Screw you, Anderson." Or something.
Braddock was coming out of the pits.
15's wrecked.
Vince Almarego's got issues, but Braddock's trying to go back around. He just absolutely pile drives. Preston Plord gets into someone doing the same thing.
What the hell? What is this?
And he slides into Seth Cole.
Steve, run for your life.
Now, there were some pit incidents as well. Sky Commons retired out of the race. We saw that. What happened with him?
This is shenanigans up the wall. Oh, that was
the 36.
Oh, well, he hit something hard.
So
I'll tell you that one.
He ran into some. Oh.
No, he has damage right there.
He has damage already.
He hit the 78, I think, because the 78 was out.
Oh, he runs into Mark. Oh, my. Ladies and gentlemen, Isaac Flickinger.
Now, remember, Bill Braddock Jr. turned the 78 earlier in the race. Just not a fan of him.
Oh, no. It was Braddock who got turned by the 70. Mark George misses his pit box, tries to fix it, runs into Sky Commons.
What the heck is this? How did the 78 hit the pit wall and there's no caution? What is this?
And then Sky Commons, trying to finish out his pit stop, is going to overshoot his pit box, and he runs right into the back of Preston Plord.
And everybody coming out of the pits. What happened to the 15? He was sideways on the track.
Well, actually, there's another DEI car that I want to see what happened, and it's Cole Deaver.
Oh my Lord Jesus, so much shenanigans. Oh, well.
So Cole Deaver actually ends up missing pit lane.
It looks like you just go. That's something we have to fix for next season. Looks like too fast an exit, and then he
just
tries to
stuck. And luckily for him, his pit stall's not back here.
And luckily, I think that's an illegal pit road entry, if I ask me.
Well, he also doesn't technically enter pit road. He gets towed.
And what happens? Look at the 00, the one back there. They're gonna get towed.
I mean, he goes back there.
Gene's on pit road, under caution. Let me remind you that. Steve Pollard's on pit road. They already pitted.
No, remember, these are replays. This is still the replay.
Oh yeah, then how the heck did they get the lead?
I don't know. So I think that covered what I wanted to see. So with that, let's go ahead.
Wait, hold on. What happens to the 15? The 15 was on the track sideways.
I think that was just trying to merge.
Okay, I'm just curious to see why he was stopped in the middle of the track, dead sideways. He's getting towed.
The caution comes out, so he takes the yellow on pit lane.
Yep.
So that's worth mentioning.
Does he floor it, or what does he do?
He just stops because I think he's having to wait for a certain car to pass.
Okay, that makes sense. So I think people were on pit road when the yellow came out, and that's how they inherit the lead. I could be wrong, but I'm gonna be pretty sure about that.
Could have been.
Steve Paul was 15th before the caution.
I don't know what happened. Either way, let's go ahead and get you back to the restart and try and sort out this mess. And we're back. Sky Commons, Isaac Flickinger, Ali Nelson, James Qualls, Bill Bragg Jr. out underneath that last caution. We have 18 lead lap cars. Gene Sanford is your race leader over Brennan Patterson, Christopher Pierce, Chris Washer, Chris Louvier, a lot of Chris's up there, Steve Pollard, Alexander Rose, Stephen Pollard III with damage to the rear end of his car, Zachary Fitzwater, and Tristan Wilhoit. And we are back to green here at Irwindale.
Now remember, the 17 and the 5 have bad tires, so we'll see how they can hold up. Gene, it might be the capper seat for Gene. 41 in the wall. That is not what everybody behind them wanted. Oh, Chris Louvier, what are you doing?
Making it 3 wide, looking almost was 4 wide.
As Gene, I can't believe the 17's holding up.
I can't believe it either, as right now, Christopher Pierce trying to clear the lap traffic as there are 20 laps to go at Irwindale. One
Yeah,
Sanford dominated the first half. It's another Sanford leading right now.
I can't wait to see Charles' reaction if she actually wins.
I mean, I'd like to just point out you jinxed it by mentioning before halfway that Charles Sanford would have been in the All-Star race with the win.
Well,
I mean,
Gene
the
Sanford.
05 isn't even on the, or the 05 is one of the lead lap cars. They're in 14th.
Patterson's getting passed. Yeah, he's a disadvantage. Diva, this is the lap car's
right
being
now,
advantage.
Pierce is trying to pass. That is a battle for second.
Steve Paul needed this for his championships hopes. He can maybe even leave it as the points leader too now. Dylan Young is somewhere. I don't even know where Dylan Young is.
Dylan Young, the 24 is in 11th. They are still on the lead lap.
And we've seen him in the grass. As 15 to go, as Charles's heart is falling out of
16 to go this time by, actually, as Henry Sanford is trying to, I think that's not a battle for position.
Yep.
It's hard to tell even what's a battle for position now at this point.
Now,
The
Pollard
double
is
zero's
trying to
one lap down. He's the first car one lap down, actually.
Now, the 5 is screwed because that undercut worked, but he's got no tires for the last 15 laps as he's up the hill.
He's on the preferred line, and he's still falling back.
Yeah, he doesn't have any tire left. That's the problem with that strategy. He needed to go green.
Well, I don't even think if it went green. I think the caution actually ended up helping him anyway because it's going to get him a better finish.
Now, Patterson won in Atlanta,
top 18.
and Gene got DQ'd in that race, so this is a little redemption right here.
Gene has not won since season 1 at Indianapolis.
I know, we said that in
Over
the
130 races. It's probably actually over 140 races now since her last win.
Yep, as Charles is Ned Jarrett in the 1993 Daytona 500 right now.
As right, Washer now trying to clear the double zero.
As this is insane. Charles
Right
might be
now,
up to do
Pierce
another race
trying
after
to make
this.
a move for second. That's going to help Patterson out a little bit.
As that Charles' sick time is going up at work right now.
Washer now clears the lap traffic of the double zero.
How about Stephen Paul III hanging up there with that damage?
As William Duncan, who is 2 laps down in the 25th position. Actually, if he can catch the 8, that is for position there for Duncan.
Yep, as 3 wide. This is hurting Washer more than hurting Duncan. As here comes the 17. The 17.
Yep. With 10 laps to go now at Irwindale.
I'm just going to get quiet in the last 5 laps here, so.
You're really going to milk that whole thing, huh? Meanwhile, Deaver trying to catch Christopher Pierce, who's trying to pass Patterson now for second.
I'm surprised how strong Patterson's car is. He pitted 10 laps before.
True.
As oh god, this is just nerve-wracking. We haven't seen many of the part-time COT cars won this year, so it's good to see one of them up there.
Steve Pollard right now in 6th, trying to chase down Chris Louvier for 5th.
Big time.
So we were mentioning Dylan Young was going to take over the points lead all this time. Now it looks like Louvier is going to be able to reclaim the points lead.
And Gene pulling away a little bit.
Creating a little bit of a gap there with 7 laps to go. As Pierce now on that outside line, Patterson goes up to block.
Hey, at least in the bright side, you're not in your apartment this time, Charles.
It's true, but to be fair, it's also 11 o'clock at night, and we've got another lightning concern now on this recording too. So,
well,
so if it drops out, it's just going to be I have to probably continue on my own. As Pearson makes the move for second, could the tires finally be setting in for Patterson?
And this is what Gene wants to see in their back bumper.
5 laps to go for the 47.
The old one's inside of Chris Washer back there for 4th.
As, Louvier now to 4th.
Yep, trying to hunt down the front as this is what Gene Sanford 41 to pit road.
Pierce is slow. Problems for the 41.
That's a tough break. That's not what Gene wanted to see.
Place.
Steve Paul in top 5.
Max Anderson's right now a lap down, trying to catch a double zero for a spot. 3 laps to go at Irwindale.
All right, I'm gonna stop talking now.
As Patterson tries to close in for what would be a record-tying 8th win in the Coke Vanilla Cup Series, Gene Sanford looking for her second with 2 laps to go.
Didn't Jackson tie that last week?
No, Jackson set the mark again last week. Patterson looking to tie it once again.
Oh, I'm not saying nothing.
As Gene Sanford will see the white flag this time by 1 lap to go at Irwindale, and she is pulling away.
We still got post-race tech.
And here we go, through turns 3 and 4. The longest streak in Coke Vanilla Cup Series history is over at 140 plus races. Gene Sanford wins at Irwindale.
And that was the reaction I was hoping for. Steve Paul in top 5. Sour Fitzwater with 6. That's a good run for them. As she hit the pit wall.
Still going to finish 23rd. No, she didn't. Caution comes out because of the spinning on the back straightaway. William Duncan ended up hitting the pit wall, I think.
Louvier is going to have points lead. Steve Paul might be top 5 of the points. Woo!
He might be. With all that happened there. Apparently we need a better pit stop for 47 too. Gene Sanford gets the win, snapping the longest winless streak in the Coke Vanilla Cup Series history that was active. We'll have to figure out officially what the mark was because it's not up to date. It's 140 plus races. If we figure it out by the time that this video goes up, it will be added as a footnote if I can remember.
Hold on. I can tell you right now.
While he figures out, rest of the top 10 is Brian Patterson, Chris Louvier, Chris Washer, Steve Pollard, Zachary Fitzwater, Alexander Rowe, the only rookie in the top 10. He finishes the day on 7th. Stephen Pollard the 3rd, Dylan Young, and Tristan Wilhoit, the top 10, as we had 17 lead lap cars. Christopher Pierce ends up finishing the day 1 lap down in 23rd. And I look at the bottom half of the results.
So it's 100. I'm gonna say about 142 to 145 races.
So she DNQ'd 1 race in there. That's all she DNQ'd.
Yep. So that's about how much.
So just what you'd have to figure out on the sheet is who was the last one. Who did we have as 0 races since their last win?
Sam Young.
Sam Young won at Barber.
So yeah, about 142 to 145.
That was about race 23. So yeah, so if you figured out how many races she appeared in between Barber and now, but either way, it's 140 plus race winless streak. Steven, your final thoughts on the race today?
Insanity. Gene Sanford, good run. Steve Paul needed this run for his chase hopes, but we're going back to original COT next week, so they're probably going to choke. Good run for Washer. Good run for Louvier. Zachary Fitzwater, finally good run. Mohammed Zainadul finally put together a race. Charles Sanford with a hard break, so with Dylan Young. William Brock, top 15. Sam Young up there. Chris Wilson was 17th. First finally had to go from Max Anderson, another top 20. And something we didn't mention either, the 7 of Zorline. He's got caught up in that pit road craziness, 20th. We'll see if he can hold on to the owner point lead. But I'm ready for Talladega. That's the next wild card. And anything could happen there, and it's going to be insane. So I'll see you guys next week at Talladega. I'm excited for it.
Yep, and so wrapping it up, congrats to Gene Sanford on the win today. Her second career Coke Vanilla Cup Series win. And I'd like to thank you guys for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and subscribe if you haven't today for more gaming and racing related content. I'm Gordon Fan1, and this has been a production of the NRSL. We'll see you guys next time.
See you guys next time.